Hello, good evening. My name is Catherine Kaplan. I'm from SEV Housing, and tonight we're going to run the lottery for the 63 affordable housing units, rental units at the Curtis Apartments in Bellingham. And we're going to get the lottery underway in just a few moments. We also have a conference call that is running at the same time here as the YouTube live session. If you prefer to join by phone, you can do that. I'm going to type in the conference call number as well as the code into the chat box that is to the right of the video. If you're on YouTube, you can see that video. So the number is in there now. Also, if you have any questions during this session, you're encouraged to go ahead and ask them by typing into the chat box to the right over there. And so first, I just want to give an overview and some background information on the lottery, how many applicants have applied. There's really no need to write any of this information down because it's going to be sent to you as well in a follow-up email that is going to be sent out to all applicants by tomorrow morning. So anybody, any applicants, any households who are a part of this lottery should have already received a lottery application number. That number is in the form of A.001, for example. And please let me know if you don't have that number, if you've forgotten it. You can type that into the chat box if you're having trouble finding it, because that is what is going to be called tonight rather than your name. We don't want to be calling out anyone's name for privacy purposes. So this lottery, like I said, is for the 63 total affordable units. We received 17 complete applications, so there's going to be 17 households in this lottery. Just a reminder, there's 33 affordable one-bedroom apartments, 24 two-bedroom apartments, 6 three-bedroom apartments, and for those 33 one-bedroom apartments, we received a total of 5 complete applications. For the 24 two-bedroom apartments, we received 6 complete applications, and for those 6 three-bedroom apartments, there are a total of 6 completed applications. So I should be able to confirm the numbers. I see some messages in here. So Nicole and Kristen, let me look you up really quickly. We want you to be able to know what number you are listening for. Nicole, I'm not seeing anyone with your name. Kristen, one second. Kristen, your number is A.008. Just one second. Nicole, just one second. That name sounds familiar to me, and I believe I will have an answer for you in just one second. Nicole, it looks like you gave the name Malik Ennis. There was an incomplete notice sent out on the 24th that the deadline had passed. So you're ineligible for the lottery, but you would still be able to apply since, as you can tell from the numbers I just read off, there are less applicants than the affordable units are available. So you'll be able to apply to the affordable units directly with the leasing office following this lottery. So it doesn't mean you will not be able to rent at the Curtis. You'll just need to do so after the lottery. So if you need more information about that, you can email us at info@svhousing.com, and we can put you in touch with the leasing office as well. So you will not have a number for this lottery because you were not found eligible to be in this lottery prior to the deadline. All right, so I'm going to go forward here, and So back when everyone who is in this lottery completed your application, you will have indicated, and we and at SEB will have confirmed if you are a type 1, type 2, or type 3 household. So you want to keep in mind that for the 2-bedroom waiting list, type 2 and type 3 households are going to have equal priority over any type 1 households. And for the 3-bedroom waiting list, type 3 households will have priority over type 2 households. So type 1 households would have the lowest priority. And the reason for this is really this program is designed to so that households do not have priority for units with more bedrooms than their family requires. So the type 1 households would have the lower priority in the 2 and 3-bedroom units. So there's also local preference and priority for several of these affordable units, and you were informed on your lottery eligibility notice, which came in the form of an email, whether or not you qualified for local preference. In addition, there's also affordable units that are equipped with accessibility features for persons with disabilities, and households who require those features are going to have priority for those units over households of the same household type who don't require the accessibility features. So all of this is to say that the drawing, when it's happening tonight, you're not going to know for certain where you fall on the wait list, even if you're drawn first. So I'll first need to sort the results from tonight in order to compile the wait list. But the good news is that I plan to send that out at some point tomorrow morning, and the list that is sent to you will be completed and sorted, and it will be sent to all households by email. We have everyone's email address. So once you receive that email, you're going to find your application number, and you're going to be able to see precisely where you stand on either the 1, 2, or 3-bedroom wait list. I don't believe we have anyone in this lottery who is going to be listed on more than one wait list. It looks to me as though every household only applied to one unit size, one unit type. So you should find your number on one of them. All right, so we are required to have 2 drawings for any lottery that has local preference. So we have to do a drawing for households with local preference, and there are 6 of those households. And then we do a second general pool drawing that includes all 17 households, and that includes the local preference households as well. In this lottery in particular, we also need to do a preliminary drawing, which is what we're going to start out with. And it's the local preference minority drawing. The reason for that is because according to the program rules, the number of minority households in the local preference pool needs to be at least as high as the percentage of minorities in the surrounding area. So Bellingham falls into the Boston area, and that Boston area minority percentage is 33.4%. So there were 6 households who qualified for local preference. None of those 6 households indicated that they were a minority. And so we're going to go ahead and start out with the minority drawing. And there were 6 households there were also 6 households who identified as minority for the lottery. None of those were local preference. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all the lottery numbers for the households who identified as minority into the lottery box that I have here. And we're going to draw 4 of them. And those 4 households who identified as minority are going to be added to the 6 existing local preference households. So that's going to make 4 of the 10 households that we have now in the local preference pool, which will represent 40%, which is greater than that 33.4% number that I had just given. So after the minority drawing, we're going to have the required minority representation to go ahead and proceed with the local preference drawing with 10 households. Once that's done, the local preference households are going to be added to the general pool, which is those households without local preference. So in all, we're going to have 17 households included in the general drawing, and that will be that. I see some questions have come in, so let me just pause. Katrina, no. So you're going to hear, everyone's going to hear their lottery number called. So everybody's, numbers A.001 through A.00 or 017 are going to be drawn. Everyone will have their lottery number drawn. So the reason for the lottery is basically to identify or to establish the wait list. So I'm able to put together the wait list, and the wait lists are going to indicate who has first choice at the affordable unit. So I'll get into a little bit more of that later, but you are going to hear your lottery number. You shouldn't immediately reach out to the leasing office. After you get the email tomorrow, you can go ahead and contact them to move forward and complete a lease application, but I would not do that until tomorrow when you see where you fall on the wait list. Nicole. So let me see. I'm going to look at this real quick, but let me see. Oh, hold on, you're right up top. The note in here that I have for the processor, and this is for Malik's application, was that the deadline was the 22nd. And the notice saying it was still incomplete, so the incomplete notice was sent out on the 24th. So you would not be in this lottery, but like I said, you will be able to apply to an affordable unit. It would be after the lottery. Galaxy 2 and 3. Let me just check here. Galaxy, is another name potentially on the application for you? Just let me know in the chat. I'm assuming you're saying I have a 3-bedroom voucher. Yep. So, Robin, yes, you would need to do that with the leasing office after the lottery. You're currently right now you're eligible for a 2-bedroom, so that's what we have. You are in the lottery. We have you in the lottery as a 2-bedroom eligible household. You would need to add that person, get the 3-bedroom voucher, and provide that to the leasing office, and we would go from there. So Kristen, after the lottery, I'm going to go through a little bit of that in just a second. It doesn't guarantee you a unit because you still need to be, after having been found program eligible by SEB, you have to now be found lease eligible. It guarantees everyone that's in this lottery is guaranteed to move forward, be called right now to move forward to fill out a lease application with the leasing office. So you're guaranteed to be moving forward in the process, but you're not guaranteed to be eligible for the affordable units just yet, because you need to be lease eligible with the property management company first. And right now, we've determined that you're eligible for the affordable housing program, but you're not necessarily eligible to lease an apartment at the Curtis Apartments because they have their own leasing criteria, such as credit checks, criminal background checks, the same sort of stuff that most landlords will be looking at. All right, so I'm going to go forward. Like I said, I'm not going to be calling out I'm not going to be calling out names, just application numbers when we do the drawings. And when I do start the drawing, I'm going to be putting index cards similar to these in the lottery box that I have here. I'll make sure that I'm shaking things up, and I'll be pulling out the numbers and putting them up to the screen so you can see them. And I'm going to be jotting down also a note for myself so I can keep track of what order they were called in. And so following the lottery, I've been talking about this already, but each household is going to be sent an email, which includes the next step in the process. And the waiting lists themselves are going to be attached to that email. You'll notice your lottery number is highlighted in green on the waiting list, and that's indicating that you and all other eligible households will be invited to immediately move forward in the process. by completing that lease application that I mentioned with the leasing office. The leasing office's contact information is also going to be on that email that you receive tomorrow, and you'll be able to coordinate with them because they will also be giving your contact information, and you can coordinate touring a unit, completing their lease application, and hopefully reserving one of the affordable units at that point. So your placement on these wait lists determine when you're going to be able to reserve a unit. So after we've sorted and distributed the wait list to you, if you are first, for example, on the 1-bedroom waiting list, you will have first choice at the affordable 1-bedroom units. So that's why it's beneficial to be called earlier or be closer to the top of the waiting list, because you will have that first choice. So it's important, like I just mentioned this, but to keep in mind that SEB has found you eligible for the program already, but you have not yet been found lease eligible by the Curtis Apartments' leasing office. So you want to make sure that you do not give notice yet to your current landlord right away, because you do not yet know if you qualify to rent a unit at the Curtis. So keep that in mind. One final piece of information before the drawings. These units are scheduled to be available beginning in the fall, so around October. If for any reason you're scheduled to move into the unit after November 30th, you might need to undergo a second review by SEB after having already reserved a unit. And if that's the case, SEB, we will send you a reminder to update your income and tax information with us so we can confirm that you're still eligible for the affordable housing program. And then again, just a reminder that you will have to recertify your income and tax information each year with the leasing office. So you want to maintain a file of your finances and things for as long as you're living in the affordable unit at the Curtis. All right, so let's move on to the drawings. These are we're going to start with that preliminary minority drawing that I mentioned. I have 6 cards here that represent the 6 minority households. I'm going to draw 4 of those, and those 4 households are going to then be added to the local list. So I'm going to put them, shuffle them up, and put them in this lottery box that I have here. Move it around. And I'm going to draw 4 of these, and I'm going to go ahead and write them in here. So the first is A.005, backwards on the screen. And the second of 4 is A.013. And the third, A.007. And then the fourth and final minority household who is going to now be added to the local preference list is A.017. So I'm going to go ahead and move those 4 minority households over to my local preference cards here. And the 2, the box off here, but the 2 minority households who were not called are added right away to the general pool, the general drawings that we will be doing last. All right, so we're all set with minority households. We now have the number of local preference households that we need and the minority representation that is required by the program. And the local preference drawing, I now have the 10 households here. Count them just to be sure. 10 households here. 10 cards going into the box for the local preference drawing. Goes up. And the first household in the local preference drawing is A.002. Writing it down. Second A.015, and the third, A.012, next, A.003, next, A.007, A.016 is next, and next is A.005, next I've got A.001, A.017, and finally I've got A.013. So that's the last number there on the local preference. And now we're going to have our general pool drawing. This is all 17 households in the lottery. Shuffle them up. Might seem redundant, obviously, to anyone watching. This is just the way it has to be done. Put them in. Shake them up. General. Lottery. A.001. Next. A.006. Next we have A.003. A.010. A.011. Keep going. A.007. A.013. A.004. Next, we've got A.016. A.009. A.012. A.014. Just a few more here. A.008. A.017. A.002. A.005, and then finally A.015. I think I saw a question in there. Did you call them twice? And that was after I think I saw that message come in. Yes, because that was a household that was in the minority drawing, and they were also in the local and general, because everyone's in the general, and so there's 4 numbers there that were called 3 times because of the minority drawing. So that is it. Like I said, there will be a email that goes out by noon tomorrow that will have it will have the wait list attached to it. It will also have information that I discussed in this session, and it's going to let you know what the next steps are and a lot of the information that was shared here tonight on how we sort the results. If you have any other questions, I'll wait around just a minute and we'll be in touch shortly. All right. Thanks so much. Have a good night. Good luck, and we'll be in touch soon.